we have come to our last item of the evening. That normally gets a much better response. We'll do it again. But sadly, folks, we have come to our last item of the evening. It's getting better. We start practicing the way we do the club. But anyway, and we're going to feature two wee tunes that would have been familiar to those on the Western Front in World War I. And 2 years ago, just almost 2 years ago, the band went to the Somme battlefields. Had an absolute, I have been on many, many musical trips in my very short life. Believe that, you believe that. The next Scott will tell you who I am. But anyway, an absolutely fantastic trip. We went to all the major battlefields. We went to Tynecott Cemetery and places like that there. And we did our own service at the Ulster Tower. And before we went, Kenny says to me, he says, we're going to do a service at the Ulster Tower. I says, right, Kenny, that's not a problem. He says, we're going to do it right. I said, okay, not a problem. We're going to do a few hymns, right? Bring you the bugle. I said, right, no problem. So then we were lined up at the Ulster Tower, and we had done a few, well, we done a hymn tune, a couple of wee readings and things like that there. And Kenny said the appropriate words at the appropriate time, and of course I started to lift the bugle. And I have never, ever done that in this part of my life. And I met Big Mark Smith, the piper, a few weeks later, and he says to me, well, he says, what about the song? I says, Mark, brilliant. He says, where do you go? I says, oh, we went to Ulster Tower, we did the whole heat, we went to Scene Ridge, we did that and all the rest of it. I says, Mark, do you know one thing I had bother with? He says, what's that? I says, the last post at the Ulster Tower. He says, what are you talking about? He says, how many times have you done the last post? And I says, Mark, I wouldn't like to think how many times I've done it. I said, I literally froze. They looked at me and said, Willie, that's the place. And I went, 1, 2, 3, he's right. And many of us have been to the song. As there something else. A remarkable experience. But one of the highlights was we were Ballyquin. They were renovating the Menin Gate. And we thought we weren't going to get down through the Menin Gate. Kenny, I think the blood pressure tablets were just going on 20 at a time. But we were, because there was a band there, I think it was the Thursday night and the Friday night, hadn't got down through the gate. But on the Saturday night, the gate was open. So we got doing a wee service on the other side of the gate, and we come down through the gate, playing these two wee tunes. You'll know them. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed yourself, even with me talking the biggest lot of nonsense ever. But it's not all bad. Gary Wilson has to come back on the